I don't normally do videos about software updates because why would anyone really? It's not my software. But I don't do it about Steam or Origin or any other program. But I guess since Galaxy 2.0 is new and it's kind of the popular thing, I'm going to do it. So uh, for whatever reason, there doesn't seem to be like an official update article on the GOG site itself, but there's a few around, like the one I just had open a second ago. This PCGamesIn.com. There's one on PC Gamer. The April update for Galaxy 2.0 came out earlier this morning. Doesn't really add major features, but it adds a few interesting ones. So the highlight of the update right now is that you can link your subscription services. So that includes Xbox Live Gold, Xbox Game Pass, or Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which are the same thing. I mean, they're just two different tiers of the same subscription service. Um, if you go into the settings once you have the new update installed, assuming you can actually get it to work without crashing, it's going to be under features. They've made a few changes to streamline everything. So if you hook your Xbox Live account up, you go to the very bottom or wherever it is, and it'll say subscriptions. And you can choose which individual things that you can sync. So I'm not sure exactly how many games it grabs, but it seems to be like literally everything that is available, I guess, in Game Pass. I'm not 100% positive, to be honest. I pay for Game Pass, but I don't really use it that much. So that's one of the other new things is like the features is kind of broken down for everything here. Uh, but rewinding a little bit. So when you open Galaxy 2.0, it should auto update. That's a pretty big should, because it's probably not going to. In which case, literally the only way to get the update is to totally uninstall it and then download the Galaxy 2.0 installer from the GOG website, which I don't know if there's a separate link to do it, because the way I did it, granted, I was kind of pissed off at the moment. I had to uninstall my Galaxy 2.0 and then download the regular Galaxy 1 client. And then when it was installing, it was like, hey, it gives you a link to install Galaxy 2.0 instead. So I did that. And then when you're installing it, it'll automatically grab the newer version and install it. I don't know why there isn't and like a check for update setting here. You would think after the client's been around for like, in this iteration, it's been around for a year almost, that it would have one, but it doesn't. I'm not sure exactly when Galaxy 2.0 came out. I'm pretty sure it's been at least 8 months, because that's when I first downloaded it. Probably before that. I remember seeing articles about it last summer. The other major feature I think that they added is that you can add something similar to Steam's collections now. So basically what you do is like you go to whatever view that you like. This all games here on the left is in a default category. I had to create it. So if you go up to the top and you actually have any idea what you're doing, go to filters. For instance, you can create an all games category by going to status under filters at the top and choose owned and subscriptions, and then I'll make one for instance here. So we'll uncheck that. We'll go to installed and not installed, and then you hit the little bookmark button on the left. It's gonna, By default, it's going to use whatever the names are of the filters, but you can rename it to anything. And then you can delete it as well, delete bookmark. So, like I said, by default, it doesn't have an all games. It's just going to default to owned games. But you can just choose status, owned, and subscriptions, and then it'll pop up with an all games category, which doesn't show you a number for some reason. Unfortunately, compared to the Steam collections, it's kind of janky. Because, for instance, I made one called Call of Duty, which includes commandos beyond the Call of Duty because it's in the title. There's no way to remove it from that bookmark. You could hide it, which kind of sucks because I'd rather just not be there at all because it doesn't need to be. But it's pretty cool. So now you can add them. You can add custom categories, which is something you haven't been able to do on Galaxy 2.0. I'm pretty sure anyway, for like the longest time since it existed. I don't know that there really are any other new features, but you've also got the friends list on the right is now like a dockable thing that you can hide and unhide. So it'll show you your friends list across all your connected platforms. You know, so you got Xbox, Steam. There was a PlayStation category here a second ago. They must have logged off. You can't, however, you can't like collapse the categories. You just have to scroll down. You can't search it either, so that's kind of bare bones. I don't know if this has fixed the issue with the constant desyncing of accounts, because that's like the most common problem everyone's had. I've only had it open and logged in for like 3 hours. It hasn't desynced yet, which doesn't really say anything because it wasn't that bad. Like it didn't disconnect constantly. It would disconnect while you weren't looking, and then you would have to resync it every few days. But I don't know what other features it has supposedly added. I guess we could just look at the article. So now you can link multiple executables to any game and add launch parameters like in Steam or whatever your other client. A few other features. This one right here, this was always in Galaxy 2.0. And I've made a video about Steam Edit, how to do that in Steam. That was a built-in feature of Galaxy 2.0, like ever since I've used it. And what they mean is, so for instance, Black Ops here is really Call of Duty 6. It was Call of Duty 1, 2, 3, Modern Warfare, World at War, Black Ops? That can't be right. Treyarch wouldn't have made 2 games in a row, would they? No, 1 through 4, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, Call of Duty 7. Yeah. Okay. So it's Call of Duty 7, but it's in front of Call of Duty 2. So like you could go in here and just rename it Call of Duty 7. And then like it'll show up after 2 and 4. That's always been a feature, like I was saying. The other major feature that I'm aware of, because I've already spent like an hour or more having to fix everything because of it, is the icon size for GOG Galaxy 2 used to be 342 by 482. Yeah, 342 by 482. So you can see Steam Grid DB hasn't updated yet. They're already aware of it, but it'll take time to change that. So now that means you can use images that are almost twice the size. They're actually a little bit. They're almost twice the size. They're not exactly, because it's the new file size is 660 by 930 pixels. So it's almost there. So anyway, now you can kind of use your existing Steam Grid icons for your tiles because they're about the same size. I've used a few and they look about the same. For instance, it doesn't Windows dock very well because you can't minimize this left portion, which is still a feature they need to add. It's a pain in the ass. But you can see if you increase, well, actually this max size is a bit bigger. Yeah, but you can see they look pretty much the same between the two clients. GOG offers you a little bit better of like a real-time customization because you can change the icons without having to go into your settings and restart the program, unlike the new Steam library. So you can use the same icons; they still look pretty cool. This one isn't the same icon, if you're wondering. That one's animated. This one isn't because Galaxy 2.0 doesn't support animated icons still. That pretty much covers it. There isn't really much new about it. Besides that. So Galaxy 2.0 is going to permanently replace old, Galaxy 1.0 here sometime in the coming weeks or whatever, I would guess. But that's about it. Like it adds some stuff like launch parameters, multiple executables. Other than that, and the friends and the icon size, they haven't really changed anything. But if you are a Galaxy 2.0 user, you might want to check it out. I would forewarn you, though, that you may have to just totally uninstall it and reinstall it. That's what I had to do. Even though anyone who uses Galaxy 2.0 is aware that it's supposed to auto-update when you open it. I don't know why mine didn't work. I know a lot of other people's that I've talked to, it didn't work. The one thing I was concerned about was I've spent 8 months customizing this, and you can see, like, if you look at my all games library, it's still, there's still a lot of like shitty, and I use that for lack of a better term, a lot of stuff that, like a lot of icons that aren't optimized for GOG, like this one. Well, that one's actually, but like a lot of icons that don't exist or whatever, they're not the right resolution or they're not the right aspect ratio, like this Galaga game or this Dig Dug game or really this Pac-Man game. So I was worried I would have to totally redo all of that, but I didn't actually. It saved all my custom icons even though I uninstalled the program. So that's, if you're worried about that, don't just straight up go ahead and uninstall that crap. Shouldn't be an issue. So moving on, I don't know if this is actually accurate information or not, if this is news, but maybe it's just me. I didn't know if it existed. However, I doubt it because I didn't do anything in my Steam library. So when I open my Steam today, the only category I had on the left was all, which is normal. I mean, if you've used Steam for more than a year, like that's how it always used to look. But I I think it's new. I think they added a new category to stop with the bullshit because enough people were requesting it. So now you can actually get rid of all the new crap in the library and just go back to the something similar to the old. You can't go back to the you can go back to the old library, but not with the new interface. Again, I did a video about that as well a long time ago. But now you can go back to only seeing your games, none of the recent, none of the what your friends are playing, none of the here's all the games that have updates, here's all the news crap. You can just go back to just the straight up library. And I'm fairly certain it's new because I for sure never clicked this games button up here because I had already gotten used to the collection view and I just said, fuck it. I'll go with the collections. But that does it pretty much. That is the video. Just some news about GOG and maybe some news about Steam. I don't know. Honestly, I didn't see Steam do an update. I don't know when the last update was. I guess we can prove me wrong on the video right now. The question is, how does one actually use Steam? I don't remember how to do it. Oh my god. Here we go. Update news. No, I don't give a shit about the 2 new franchise. Man, these fucking Steam news things are getting longer and longer every time. Like, it used to be like 1 or 2 screens. That was 20 fucking screens. Anyway, there is a thing. Here it is, news. There's a thing. There's like a patch notes somewhere. I guess it doesn't matter, but maybe it's new, maybe it's not. I guess we can Google it. By we, I mean me. Actually, there is a beta, yeah, a group. April 22nd, so that was Wednesday. Whatever, I'm wrong. It doesn't matter. So if anyone didn't know about that, you can actually get rid of all that crap in the new library. Apparently I didn't know about it, so it's news to me. Anyway, happy gaming, etc. Don't catch coronavirus. Bye.